wild surprise.
The Card Life Chronicles.
A wild surprise.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Sports Card Collectors Club. My name is Jonathan Fink, and this is the Card Life Chronicles podcast. We're going to rip some 2026 Topps flagship football tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun. Chiefs preseason game against the Bucs is winding up. Really fun seeing Jalen Daniels from KU, 5-year player for KU, facing off against the Chiefs, looking really good for the Bucs. Really, really excited. So we'll let the, as always, we'll give a few minutes for the chat to fill up and join us as everyone can get online. I'm gonna put a loop on for 10 minutes and let everyone fill in, and I'm gonna send out the bat signal and let everyone know that we're live. We're gonna rip a lot of stuff tonight. We got some new product today from the Art of Sports and from Nick's Sporting Good, and we're gonna have a pretty robust rip session. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate all of you. We'll get started real soon. Hold tight.
This month, we have some great sports card stories from across the U.S. and talk to an author from nearby Leawood, Kansas, who has written a book about returning to collecting after 3 decades away.
My day job is I'm a financial advisor, so I've been investing for over 20 years. In a way to express my love for the hobby, I decided, what if I write an investment book, Sports Card Collectors Club, and treat the stock market the same way I would treat the card market. And so I thought, well, how would a day trader invest in cards? How would a venture capitalist buy and sell cards? How would a hedge fund do it? As I would go through my trials and tribulations, I realized that for as much fun as I was having investing, there was something missing. And one day I was watching the Royals game on television, and it was a rain delay. And the Card Life television show came on. I was watching that episode, I was watching Matt Strom open cards and rip packs, and I started getting the warm, fuzzy feeling. I said, this is what I want to be doing. I want to get back to really collecting and ripping cards and building sets. And that's when the story of my book has changed. I go from investing back to collecting.
I'll also open a variety of boxes from different sports. So he hit the home run off me in the 7th inning. And then in the 8th inning, JT hit a double, so he's standing on second. And Mason Wynn asked him, he's like, hey JT, he's like, I heard Strom collects cards of guys that take him deep. He's like, does that mean he's gonna send me over a couple cards to sign tomorrow? And after the game, we had won. I mean, winning is the only thing that's important to me. So it's like, I was good after the game, whatever, and JT comes up to me and he's like, hey Stromy, he was really genuine. He wasn't taking shots. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, when I got to second, Mason asked if you're gonna send a card over for him.
I'm just looking around my basement here, just walls covered with concert posters and toys, and just I have no intention of selling these things. I collect because I want to show off the things I love and do it in fun ways. And it just never crossed my mind that, hey, I'm going to go buy this thing just so I can resell it. That to me isn't a pure collector mentality. And obviously things change and times change. And, in order for things to survive right now, you have to have that sort of chase for something valuable.
Yeah, it needs to be a circus. You know what? The truth is, I actually watched the live stream on eBay Live with Ken Golden and Logan Paul. They ripped a box of 86 Flair and a box of Series 1 Pokemon. And you know what? It was very entertaining. They're both polarizing characters. I thought it was entertaining. But you know what? After every pull, they immediately are showing the value. And it begs the question, are we creating, not we, is the industry creating a gambling culture which has a real downside?
It already has. Right. Not created. It's here.
Yeah, and that's a concern. I guess for me, I hope to be an influence where we focus more on collecting, because you know what, when markets crash, collectors don't get hurt at all. Because the Sandy Koufax you bought that because it makes you feel good. It brings back good memories.
Said this one traded for my first big win. Jonathan Fink on the line tonight.
You have created community, so let's talk about that. I went to Rip Night at your shop. Let's rip another pack. And I went to your Rip Night 2 years ago, and it was one of the best. I wrote about it in volume 1. It was one of the best times I've ever had. You guys had this giant scoreboard where you had the chase cards, and everyone can buy whatever product you wanted, like buy 3, get 1 free, whatever product, whatever it was. You then, if you pull a Bronny James, you then get another blaster. Or I pulled a Reed Shepherd auto, and then I got a free T-shirt. And I sat around the table with strangers and had the best time ever. So let's talk about how important community is. And what you guys do is provide an anchor for community in our town. How important that is.
Yeah, definitely. You know, like you said, one of our taglines, we say we'll make an offer on anything, but like you said, I mean, we got to pay what it's worth, and so if it's junk wax, it's going to be junk wax prices, which unfortunately, you know, a lot of people end up thinking that their 87 Tops Barry Bonds is going to be a couple $100 or
it's
something.
worth nothing, people.
Brand and notoriety. And so when you're pitching these stories to these athletes, like I've reached out to a couple of different athletes about writing a potential article about their collections and having them kind of share their story. And it's like, yes, like I write for collectibles on SI, which is under the Sports Illustrated umbrella. It does carry weight. Like it does, people recognize that brand. It is important. And so I'm super grateful that I've been given the opportunity to write for that staff.
The top segment that was done by you on you was so well produced, right? Did all that come from the conversation you had with Michael Rubin? Is that how that put you on the map to such an extent that all those opportunities happened? How did that happen? Did you get a call one day?
Said this one traded for my first big win. Jonathan Fink on the line tonight with a pack in hand and a story that bites.
I didn't even collect when I was 3 years old, like when this card came out, but you just pulled a good one. Roman Anthony, you know, from Dempsey. I love Wichita State. I would have been thrilled if he went to Tulane, but his parents have roots in Nebraska. So for him, it was coming home. And so Nebraska got a good one. And so I'm not surprised that program's on the rise because they got a great stadium. They have great resources. They got a great fan base with people like you. And their recruiting is fantastic. They're finding the talented kids. So
yeah, in fact,
the Big Ten.
So yeah, Will Bolt, the head coach, he actually played at Nebraska when I was traveling with the Nebraska team in the late '90s. He was down at Texas A&M when I worked at Texas A&M. Rob Childress is the pitching coach, and I was on the hiring committee that hired him away from Nebraska to come down at Texas A&M, and they're thrilled that he's back here in Nebraska. He's a genius. The number of players in pro ball right now that went through Rob Childress, so he'll be under good guidance when he gets up here to Nebraska. They're good people.
One kid found a mantle in the rain. One old friend came back with the same old chain.
Talk to me about the reaction of the players, the other players, when they see this bat putter. Are they flipping out? They freak out when they see it?
And they see it and they're like, they just stop. Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
So the reason why I asked that question is because I had that experience literally yesterday. So when I first got the bat putter, I think I bought it 6 months ago, and it's customized for the Republic Baseball League, which is so cool. And now that I realize, now that I love it so much, and I got to use it yesterday, I'm like, I got to start buying them for different people. Like anyone's a guest on my show, they're gonna get a bat putter, okay? Yeah. But the point is, I never use it because I thought it was too sacred to me. I keep it in my office like a sacred shrine. It means so much to me. But then I was like, after watching all these videos and stuff like that, I'm like, you know what? There's this indoor amazing place in Kansas City called Tap-Ins. Okay, they have an outdoor putt, but also indoor. And depending on the weather, the whole thing, it's amazing atrium, and it's become a successful business. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? That's a perfect. It was a hot day. I'm like, it's a perfect thing to do. So my buddy Paul Greenwood, who I featured in my first book, we went and played around. And when I showed up with this bat putter, people were freaking out. They were literally losing their minds, and that's when I realized. So then, and then, by the way, it was a Sunday, middle of the day, hot as heck. I want to see how it gets made, but you probably do actually.
I want to see if there's quality control testers there.
But you know, attention! If anyone in the tops is watching, Grip and Rip we want to get invited to a tour at a factory. The two of us.
I told them I would work for free.
Right.
I would work absolutely free. I want to see how their stuff's made.
Yeah, I'm curious. But like collation is like I'm sure there's a bunch of engineers that sit around and design.
Got some breaking news for you.
Yeah.
Slab just texted me.
No way. What do you say? The
Looks like this is the first year to hear it. Who is that? Right. Let me see here.
Breaking news. Grip and Rip. Breaking news.
Oh, U.S. agent. Okay, so I just got told that the finest mega boxes are going to be really, really, really good.
Oh, interesting.
1.6 numbered cards a box. So you're guaranteed one numbered card with a 60% chance to pull a second numbered card.
Wow,
and
interesting.
Autos are 1 in 3.
Whoa. So do you think that Topps decided to go big because this is their first year with Topps Finest in retail?
I'm going to say yes. Yes.
Right? Because like
I do think so.
You usually get so upset with the delayed numbers, they're delaying them. Or maybe, by the way, I don't know if it's a conspiracy that the odds are coming out later. I just feel that maybe they're just not as efficient as they used to be.
You might have watched this game back
I'm sure I did.
Currently,
it's Derek Coleman. Yeah, he was on my fantasy team for sure.
Pretty crazy to think, in the future you would be able to collect that moment that you watched.
Right. And by the way, check that out. It's worth $198 versus the ones that are worth 35 cents because it makes sense. Because the same way that you value your 1964 Willie Mays card, you're going to value your Drazen Petrovic, and you're not going to want to give it up unless it's for a very, very good price because you love that memory. And what's wild is the same way that you get the warm, fuzzy feeling with dopamine hit, whatever, when you look at a card on your shelf, it's the same thing. But when you're online at the bank, you don't have your cards with you, Paulie, but you do have your phone, and you can pull up your Drazen Petrovic and pay respect to him and watch a couple of his awesome plays that give you the warm fuzzies because you can. It's wild. And so all right, guys. Thank you for waiting. I appreciate each and every one of you. We got 9 in the chat. We'll be in the hundreds in no time, maybe in the thousands. May the sports card gods be with us. So, as you know, we did a rip last night. We went 90 minutes. We pulled some pretty good cards. I've already kind of sorted them out. And I had some leftovers. But then today I went to Art of Sports. Just swung by. Was curious to know what they had left. They had a pretty good amount. So I picked up 4, and as I'm walking out, I hear the one of the store guys say to the guy who just registered me, he goes, "Dude, we have a 2-item limit." And the guy was like, "Oh, I forgot." I'm like, "Oh, no kidding, it's no big deal." He's like, "No, you're fine, you're fine." He knew who I was. So it turns out they're only supposed to sell 2 at a time, so that everyone's really adhering to that, but not really, because I bought 4 today. And then at Dick's Sporting Goods, I was by there as well on the way to and from the gym. And so I honored their 2 limit, and I picked up 2 fat packs, which is something fun I thought we'd start with. And then I did pick up 2 more blasters. So we got two fat packs, 1 mega, I think 3 hanger boxes, and the rest blasters. So it should be a really fun rip. Football is definitely in full gear. I'm going to the game next week. Really excited about that. The 3rd preseason game for the Chiefs. Mahomes was suited up tonight. Didn't get on the field, but he was celebrating when Harrison Butker kicked a 69-yard field goal. Harrison Butker, the only Chief not invited to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding, I guess probably because of their political views. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to get my second camera set up. Let me get that going. Lo-fi Fink technology here. All right, we're good. Okay, so first blaster, let's give it a go. Once again, I do kind of like the new sleek packaging. It kind of feels much like a Pokemon booster bundle. And, you know, some would say it's just more shrinkflation, but I think it's just good packaging. You get more products on the shelf, more products on a truck. You save paper, you save cardboard, so I'm sure Topps will save some money on it as well. Flagship football. By the way, if you don't know what a flagship is, flagship comes from an old maritime naval terminology. The flagship was the boat in the group of boats that like the commander was in. It's the flagship. It hangs a specific flag, and it's the most important ship in a group of ships. So anyway, so these are we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 packs, 12 cards each. Let's have some fun. Sonny Styles, Deion Burks, Cornell Tate. You know, in the chat, I'm curious to know who everyone thinks should be the #1 draft pick this year in fantasy football. If you have a vote for who should be #1, let me know. Trevor Lawrence, Cameron Jordan, Trey McBride, J.J. McCarty. I saw a video he threw. He threw a bomb. He might be one of the best backups in the league this year. We'll see if Kyle Murray can stay healthy. Christian Watson, Drake May, there's Myles Garrett with the Stars, and then Devon Achane. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to open that door over there. I kind of have a Fink Baseball Gods Hall of Fame of jerseys all through that hallway, which leads out of my office to my downstairs. All the players that played a huge role in the life of my son and I during our baseball god adventures. The one you can see right there, that's John Perrin, 46, who played with the Brewers. In the back wall, we got Ian Kennedy. He was our neighbor and a good friend to us. Our daughter Kayla babysat for his kids for 1 year and all that stuff. And they gave us tickets to games, and big fan of the Kennedy family. Then we got Dustin Houle, who was a catcher with the Brewers and the Biloxi Shuckers, and then Jorge Lopez as well. He was with Shuckers, Brewers, and then lots of teams, you know, Mets, Nationals. And right now, I guess he's out of the league. He plays for Team Puerto Rico. And then the one jersey that I haven't bought yet that I need to do is get a Matt Strahm jersey. Obviously, Matt Strahm just recently played with the Royals. When I first met him, he was playing for the Phillies. And I met him because he is the host of the Card Life television show, and I was on a recent episode, so that's how I got to meet him. I actually started super collecting his cards when I first featured his show in Sports Cards Volume 1, and so I had like 7 or 8 cards from him to sign when we met, and he was great. She signed all of them, very cool. Nick Singleton, Cole Payton, Jalen McMillan. This is weird. Isaac Pacheco, he was with the Chiefs for a long time. I wish this guy the best. He was a cool dude. Shamar Stewart, Jamar Chase. A lot of people think he should be the #2 pick in the fantasy football draft. I'm not buying it. Danielle Hunter, Jonathan Taylor. Matthew Golden with the Future Stars parallel. It's a pretty good looking card. Justin Herbert. So everyone's calling this a psych op. Justin Herbert had his pop star girlfriend at practice, and she was like, they were like having a picnic during the middle of practice, and apparently then Jackson Dart and his girlfriend did it, and I think they just did it kind of like to get women into football, kind of like the Taylor Swift effect, maybe, perhaps. Who knows? All right, pack number 3. So far, we're 0 for 2, guys. Ruben Bain Jr., Chris McLennan, Kyle Pitts Sr., Matthew Stafford. You don't see kickers very often. Cam Little, Bengals shred. Javonte Williams. Jaden Daniels, just a base card. I think it's his third or fourth year now. When I wrote the Flip Life Volume 2, the Sports Card Collectors Club, that book comes out in December. Now on pre-sale, by the way. I was opening up all the different Panini football products. It was the last year of Panini when I was writing that book. And I pulled 6 consecutive products with Jaden Daniel rookie cards. So I saved one of them, but that's very special to me. So he's always a special player to me. Isaiah Likely, Bo Nix, and then I had Brian Thomas Jr. profiles. All right, so those keeping score at home. It's a bust pack. We're 0 for 3 so far. By the way, that's my dog Buddy, and he's wearing a diaper. My wife just put it on him. He's been having some medical issues, unfortunately, and the diaper is actually not even for a pee-pee problem, although he has had that problem too. It's actually because he has these cysts that he gets, probably because he's been inbred by too much inbreeding. I think, and vaccines, by the way. But anyway, he gets these cysts, and he tries to gnaw at them, and he rips them open, and then they kind of like pus, and then they get infected. And so he has one on his side right now that we're trying to keep him from rather than putting a cone on his head, which I think is really inhumane. He's wearing a diaper to keep him from chewing on his little boo boo. So do what you got to do, man. Colby Young, but I love when he hangs out with me. I actually had his bed down here for a while, but I probably should bring it back down because he's here. So he's my sweet little boy. Colton Hood. The truth is, if I go up now, he'll follow me, and then maybe he won't come back down. So whatever. Malik Washington, Michael Penix Jr. I had a lot of promise for this guy. I thought he could be really good in the pros. Now he's the backup. He had his chance. He might get one more chance. Kobe Bryant, not the Kobe that you think from basketball, but this guy played cornerback for KU, Rock Chalk. He was really good at Kansas. Jalen Waddle, Justin Jefferson, Bryce Young, Josh Cameron, rookie, and then Cornell Tate with the 35-year anniversary rookie. So that's another bust pack. So far, this first blaster has had, this is 6 packs, 12 cards each. That's another bust pack. Roma Dunze, Hunter Henry. I love these old school Patriot jerseys. Jimmy Horn, Calvin Ridley, Dog Pound, horizontal, back-to-back horizontals. Cameron Hayward, Adonai Mitchell, Josh Allen. So fantasy football, I always wait on quarterbacks. They always seem to look. Usually you're in a 12-team league. There's how many quarterbacks? So there's like so many good quarterbacks. You can really wait every year. And Josh Allen's the kind of quarterback where I feel like he might get looked over this year, and he could be really, really good value. Never want to own fantasy players that are running backs on the Bills because he's always running the ball in. Okay, red alert. We have 1 pack left in the first blaster. No cards in the gallery. Total bust. Some say this is what happens with Topps Chrome flagship. It's meant to be overproduced, overprinted. They want to make sure it stays cheap, out of the hands of scalpers, in the hands of collectors, and I support that. So far, no good hits, and maybe the last pack will deliver. Last pack magic. Here we go. 14 in the chat. Thank each and every one of you. I appreciate you guys. God bless. Hope this is fun for you, and it is much fun for me. Jerry Jeudy. Mason. I always wonder, how do they choose which ones go horizontal? There's a AFC league leaders, receptions, Devontae Sweat, Devon Achane, Nico Collins. Wow, it's going to happen, guys. Metcalf with the parallel, Jonathan Taylor with the ticket. Absolute Donkey Kong. That was terrible. Total bust. But what can I say? It was still fun. Let me put this on the side. I'm keeping track of this stuff. All this stuff will be documented in my upcoming book, Volume 3, The Card Life. This is why this series is called The Card Life Chronicles. Now, I will be opening lots of packs and boxes from stuff that's not part of that storyline, including afterwards. But then when I write my next book, Volume 4, that will also include ripping packs and stuff like that as a component of the storyline, and I'll do all that stuff on video as well. The truth is, when I wrote the Flip Life Volume 2 and also the Volume 1, I was not even thinking about documenting the experience on video. I should have done that. I should have been putting videos out on YouTube. I just wasn't in that headspace, and I regretted it. And so now I'm making up for it, and I'm documenting everything all online. And that'll be really cool because if the hits are really bad, you'll see how you don't waste your money ripping packs. Only do it for entertainment purposes. If you want to invest in sports cards, buy singles. But on the other hand, if I do hit big cards, it'll be really cool if I can then share those experiences. And when I get to the later chapters of the Card Life Chronicles sessions, we start to open some really cool packs as I go back in time. I've pretty much accumulated now all of the products that I need for that storyline. The only thing that's left is I'm waiting for the 30th anniversary of Pokemon to come out. And of course, I have a book on pre-sale, Pokemon Gods Real, dropping on September 16th, the same day that the 3rd anniversary officially begins. But in the storyline of the Card Life Chronicles, I do have a couple of chapters about Pokemon, and one of them has to do with the 30th anniversary. So yeah. So quick sip of my drink, and then we'll rip the next pack. All right, let's shake it up a little bit. Let's open up a fat pack. So a fat pack, you get 36 cards, $7 I think it was retail plus tax at Dick's Sporting Goods. Still with a 2 limit even on this. I think it's interesting to experiment with the different formats. The hobby box I think retailed for $120, but it was being sold for $195 at Dick's, $200 at local card shops. So when you do the math of the cost per card, yeah, you're gonna get a relic or an auto, but it could be a crappy relic or a crappy auto. So I just don't think paying above MSRP for high boxes makes sense. When I wrote Sports Card Collector Volume 1, and I was traveling around the country with my son for his travel baseball, back then when I was in Florida and over Georgia, I could go into a card shop and find, Topps Series 1 flagship or Series 2 and buy it at MSRP, and I bought a few high boxes. A couple of years ago, you can buy them for $60. Now they retail for $120, but then when you get football and it's at $195. I don't think it's worth it, guys. I think if you're looking to rip, even for entertainment, also just for to pull hits, I think you're much better off going with blaster boxes, frankly. But maybe we'll find out. Maybe the hanger boxes or hangers or bangers. We'll find out, and then maybe it's the fat packs, and maybe that's the way to go. Wouldn't that be interesting if the strategy with Topps is that we're going to have all these different high-end products eventually, but flagship is the first to come out every year. It's supposed to be for everyone, including the kids, including the guy who's some 15-year-old kid with his lemonade stand money or whatever, window washing money. And so if they really want to empower the little kid and the everyday investor collector, then the fat pack should be loaded. Wouldn't that be clever? They should do that. Let's find out. Here we go. J.C. Horn, Christian Watson, Drake May, Bo Nix, Justin Jefferson, Bryce Young, Emmett Johnson. I haven't seen him play yet. Ty Simpson. People are really bullish on Ty Simpson. He was great in college. Alabama quarterback. Zion Young. It's always interesting when they collate like that. We've seen Cam Little before. A lot of paper, nothing flashy yet. We've seen Hunter Henry before, Tyler Bass, Drake London. I think this is a year there's a lot of good tight ends for fantasy sports, a lot of good tight ends. In years past, it's been only one or two, and I think it's been a strategic advantage to then get that tight end. For many years it was Travis Kelce. Now I think you can get him super late, and he might actually be out of shape the first few weeks. But don't be surprised if Kelce gets hot, mid-year as he gets into mid-season form and then finishes strong. And the Chiefs had a horrible season last year. I don't think that dynasty wants to go out like that. I think the Chiefs could be a force to reckon with. And I think Kelce could be slow to start the season, but could be really feeling it as we get towards the playoffs. So the point is, wait on Kelce to draft him, but you can get him late. I think he can be a sleeper. Even if you keep measuring number 2 tight end at first, even by playoff time, he might be huge. If you remember, throughout the years, if you follow the Chiefs, I always get suckered into this, but you never draft the Chief running backs because Mahomes runs them in. Mahomes is throwing. Even this year, once again, we'll get tricked because I know that the Super Bowl MVP is now the starting Chiefs running back, but I still feel like I'm not sure he's going to get all the touchdown opportunities. A lot of them will still go to Kelsey. Whoa, guys, we got some red alert news here. We got a on-card auto of Ted Hurst. Really nice signature, beautiful. I have not even seen this design yet, by the way, guys. That is sweet. Really sweet card, dude. Wow. I'm not familiar with Ted Hurst. Guys, red alert. That came out of the Fat Pack. Out of the Fat Pack. My theory is right. Michael Rubin, you did it. Load the Fat Packs. Oh my God, let all the breakers chase the high boxes overpriced and then give the autos to the little kids and change their lives, man. It's not even like this card's worth a lot of money, but if you're like a 13-year-old kid and you pull an auto, what a life-changing moment for a collector, dude. You're a hobby collector for life. Dude, Fat Packs. We'll keep an eye on this. All right? We'll put that in the center of this. So this is a new kind of insert. They're pretty cool. It's like black and white in color. Greatest hits. There's Nico Collins. This is a cool design. Tom Brady, one of the GOATs. Bo Nix. All right, man. The Fat Pack. $7 plus tax. Definitely a winner right there with the Fat Pack. All right, just for the sake of the experiment, because we've got the other Fat Pack right here, let's rip this one too, because if there's another banger in this one, then I'm telling you, you got to go clear the shelves of the Fat Packs. No, don't. Leave them for the 13-year-old kids. Sorry I said that. That's the whole point. All right, here we go. Now, I've had no problems with quality so far. I did see some guy put out a hate video about Topps saying how he found all these people who've had really weird mangled cards and stuff like that. So far, my cards have all been, looking great quality. There's Dan Marino, a legend, never won a Super Bowl, but one of the all-time greats. CJ Stroud. I have a chapter in Volume 3, The Card Life, about 101s. I own a CJ Stroud 101. Nick Singleton. George Kittle. A speckle for a rookie offensive tackle. There's Jaden Daniels. You know why we love him, right? 6 consecutive rookie cards in my rip sessions, although wouldn't it be better if that was on video? By the way, I remember we started out with 5, then it was 15. Now we're at 190 in the chat. Shout out to all of you. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Baseball games are ending. Football games are ending. A lot of people who've been ripping packs all day, their shows are over. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Terry McBride, J.J. McCarthy, Jamar Chase, Baker Mayfield. I really like Baker Mayfield. Xavier Worthy, still hoping he can really break out. He's got to stay healthy, of course. Dan McConkey. Shador Sanders gave one of the best post-game interviews I saw today. He went 9 for 11. He threw a TD and a touchdown. I still think he should be the starter. Gosh, Deshaun Watson, it's hard to feel bad for the guy when he gets booed. I think he has 27 sexual assault claims against him. I can't believe he's still in the league. Shador Sanders should be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. I don't understand why they blackballed him on the draft day. I don't know why they still treat him like trash. I think he is terrific. I think you got to let him play and let him develop. I have a little PC of Shador Sanders because I feel how he's been treated is so unjust, but I'm rooting for Shador Sanders. I actually feature him in Sports Card Volume 1, a chapter about Colorado football and investing in him and Travis Hunter cards. Great idea, great thesis. The chapter was a cool idea. Problem was grading. Sent these cards in thinking they should be 10s. They came back like 6s and 7s. It was just brutal. Rico Dowdle, Jalen Coker, Bryce Young. A lot of similar cards from the last Fat Pack, actually. Joe Burrow with the horizontal. The only difference was the last Fat Pack had an auto. This one did not. This Fat Pack was a bust. So everyone put on hold my thesis that Fat Packs could be juiced. Not enough sample size, not enough evidence. In fact, we're 1 for 2, and I don't have any more. But I'll be honest, I would buy some more. In fact, I would do a whole rip session just with Fat Packs. I think that could be a lot of fun, if in fact that proves to be true. This is probably my favorite card. All right. Let's go with a hanger. So we did rip 2 hanger boxes last night. By the way, also a new packaging, super sleek, smaller. Yeah, I'm all for it. Nice smooth tops. Why not? Didn't have any cool success hits in the hangers, but the reason why they say hangers with bangers is because they have certain guaranteed inserts, and if you pull a cool insert of like a rookie defensive tackle, it's a bust. But if you pull that insert of the guy on the cover, you're cruising to the promised land. So hangers are interesting because they are low cost, low entry point, $15, and you could really actually do really well. So let's see how we do this time with this hanger box. Let's go. So again, it comes in one big clear pack. Big fan of Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. He was the last pick taken his year, and he's been to a Super Bowl. He's been a great quarterback. I don't know if you heard my thesis about San Francisco 49ers. Do not draft San Francisco 49ers in fantasy football leagues. They always get injured. Just look at Christian McCaffrey. But this year, last year, this new facility, their training facility, is right next to some kind of this telecommunications plant with all this like electromagnetic equipment, and I'm telling you, it's giving not just bad vibes, it's giving like some kind of like energetic vibrations that are unhealthy, and players keep getting injured. And I don't know what it's going to take for them to realize they have a serious problem there. I don't think it's spiritual. I think it's like scientific. I think it's like bad. Anyway, Brock Purdy, love Brock Purdy. Rookie QB from the Jets. Shout out to Gary V. Retro design for Drake May. Terry McLaurin with the ticket. Kicker. Nothing like pulling a kicker all-star player. Okay, so this is one of the inserts that I was talking about. I don't know the name of this. It's a really cool design, but when you pull a safety, rookie safety, you're not too thrilled. You pull it again, and you pull a linebacker, not feeling good. You pull Evan Mendoza, and it's probably a $50 card, maybe even a $100 card. And the rest are busts. Let's find out. I think so. Jacoby Brissett, Myles Garrett, Kobe Turner, Jalen Ramsey, Cooper Kupp, C.J. Stroud, Mr. 101, Baker Mayfield, X-Man. Khalil Shakur has been on my fantasy team 2 years in a row. He's sneaky good. Christian Gonzalez. First time we've pulled Max Crosby. Jahmyr Gibbs. I really would love to have him on my fantasy team this year. He's awesome. RJ Harvey. Thibodeau. America's duo. Yeah, they really do have a sick wide receiving core in Dallas, right? Milton Williams. Mike Evans. He already got hurt. There you go. 49er. Already hurt. Patrick Mahomes, dude, speaking of getting hurt, stay healthy. Patrick Mahomes, sports card gods, football gods, keep this guy healthy. Give him one more go around with Travis Kelce and company. Get him back to the Super Bowl. Win one more. That would be epic. I love him. He's a role model. He's a good human being. Great family man. I'm rooting for this guy to stay healthy. And go Chiefs. Nick Bosa, Tony Pollard. This guy was pretty good at LSU. We'll see how he does for the Chiefs. I haven't gotten to watch a lot of his snaps yet, but I'll definitely get to watch him next week. Back-to-back Chief rookies, C.J. Daniels. Cyrus Allen. This is a rookie who's got a lot of talk preseason. He might be a guy in fantasy leagues. You can draft this guy super late, and then he's 1 or 2 inches away from maybe being a 1,000-yard receiver as a rookie. Like, can Xavier Worthy stay healthy? Can the other guy stay out of jail? Who knows? Okay, that hanger was not a banger. Let it be known, not a banger. That was a total bust. A couple of fun rookies in there. I'll sort those out later. But nothing to write home about. It's actually a very thin rookie class, in my opinion. Really one main rookie. You can't even say that, Carson Beck in Arizona or even Jordan Love yet can. Right now it's Evan Mendoza. He's the one. I did pull 2 of his rookies last night. One from a hanger, one from a blaster box. So once again, hangers have a lot of potential, but not this time. At least not in the first one. So I'm getting up every time because all these packs I'm going to be documenting in a book, volume 3 of the Card Life. You'll understand why when I write it. And if I don't take care of this stuff now and keep it organized, it'll get all screwed up, and I don't want to do that. I want to keep it tight. So yeah. All right. So that was some bad vibes. That hanger was not a banger. That was shitty. So let's switch it up and let's go with a blaster box. So this has been called a blaster box for like a decade. Now they're calling it a value box. I guess if it's $25, it really is value. But for example, when Topps Chrome Basketball Update came out and they're charging $45 for that Chrome product, and they're calling it value, it's like, come on, don't gaslight me. That's not value. That's not cheap. So far, only one auto pull that was worthy of our gallery. Hopefully, our pack luck will improve right now. Let's do it. Yeah, I love ripping wax. There's so many different ways to enjoy the hobby. But when I was a kid in the 80s, I built sets and I ripped packs. And I still do both that now. I did dabble with investing. And I wrote a book about it. My first book, Sports Card Collectors Club. But you'll notice the first half is an investment book. Each chapter is a different chapter based on a different investment thesis. How would Warren Buffett buy sports cards? How would a hedge fund do it? How would a private equity firm do it? And I had some success, had some failures, and document the whole thing. But then I have a pivot, and by the end of the book, I get back to collecting and set building. And even though there is a kind of entertainment / gambling component to ripping wax, for me, it's the most exciting part of the hobby, and I love doing it. And it is financially costly. Definitely not a good investment idea, but I do it through an LLC. So I recommend if anyone does rip cards, do it on YouTube. It doesn't matter if people watch. Just trying, and you create an LLC. Create a little business for your account, open a business account, and then every time you buy cards, it's a business. Do it through your business account, and it's a business expense. That's what I've done, and I encourage you to do the same thing. This way, so when you lose money on packs, well, at least it's coming off your taxes, right? Anthony Smith, rookie QB, Kobe Turner, Cameron Jordan, Trey McBride, JJ. There's Kenneth Walker III. Are these photoshopped? How do they have these photos already? Cam Scatteraboo, second year, rising star. Hopefully he can stay healthy. That's a good one. Brock Bowers, but it's his second year, not his rookie card. And there's Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, who famously lost to Tulane in the Cotton Bowl while he was, playing his last year at USC. Roll wave. Jalen Ramsey, Cooper Kupp, C.J. Stroud, Jamar Chase, Jonathan Taylor, Byron Murphy. There he is, Travis Kelce. And then a greatest hits card. Love seeing Travis Kelce. Wish him and Taylor Swift the best. Seeing Taylor Swift play at Arrowhead with my daughter was one of the most epic father-daughter experiences of my life. So wish them both the best. There's Gene Daniels, my boy. Dylan Gabriel. He's battling with Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson in Cleveland for roster spot, depth chart, bus pack. It's a recurring theme. I remember when there was 5 people in this chat. I remember when there was 15. Now there's 370. Hello to all the newcomers. So far, we only have 1 card that was worthy of being celebrated. So let this be a lesson to you that this stuff is very hit or miss. It's very overprinted. Do not expect numbered cards. Rip it because you just love football. Yeah. But you never know. Things could change. You got to stay optimistic, right? I hope to be an anomaly. Kobe Bryant. So cool is it? Steam Kobe Bryant. It's Cam Ward. I think he's going to turn into a bust. I think that the offensive line in Tennessee sucks. They have no running, not a great running game. Not great wide receivers. Not a good defense. His career could get stifled. Heads up. Chris Olave. The Saints, they're intriguing, right? They might be decent. Wow. Okay. What a bust. What a bust. Blaster, that box that was. All busts right there. This is the last pack. We need some last pack magic. Here we go. Colby Young, Colton Hood. Big fan of Shedeur Sanders. I'm rooting for that guy. Rico Dowdle, Jalen Coker, Jimmy Horn. Yeah, this will be even more fun after my fantasy football draft because then you kind of get excited when you pull players that are on your team, right? Calvin Ridley, Dog Pound, Double J's, Michael Wilson, Jalen Carter, and Brandon Aubrey with the kicker. Wow, that is complete. That was an absolute 100% ass-kicking, that blaster. Now look, when you get totally smoked on a blaster and it only costs you 25 plus tax versus 45, like Topps Chrome Update Basketball, doesn't really hurt as bad. I will document these hits and keep track of them for my book, but then they'll go off to my trade shows. These will all be like 1 or 2 of these might be worth maybe even a dollar bin card. The rest of them will be free giveaways to kids. And I will include these in envelopes when I mail stuff out on eBay, when I do my Foot Life stuff. And then whatever's left over will go into an old shoe box that I use. My son Nate's old shoe box from his card collection. Because he's kind of on a car hiatus now. He's in college. And I basically will trade those cards in for cash credit, whatever I can. So anyway, that was a total bust. All right, so I'm very superstitious. So when you're superstitious and you're in a slump, you got to shake things up. So we're gonna do something really radical here. Here we go. This is the only mega box we have left. Now I did see a Grip and Rip video today when I was on my walk. Big shout out to Grip and Rip. He's been on my show, Sports Card Collectors Club podcast, and he's got a great YouTube channel. He's always kind of talking about products and kind of telling like it is. And apparently there might be many different versions of this. Target and Walmart might have their own exclusive. Fanatics might have their own exclusive. This was not exclusive. I just bought this one from Dick's Sporting Good at retail. I guess it was $50. But this is, I honestly feel like it's really good value. 12 packs, 15 cards per pack, 180 cards. So I don't have my calculator. You can do the math of what it is per card. But I mean, it literally feels like a brick. So yeah. So hopefully we can get some good magic out of this mega box here. My favorite number is 4. Always my favorite number and lucky number. When I sign books, I always sign it J Fink and then JF number 4. So we just passed 400 in the chat. So thank you to all 400 of you. The internet is amazing. I'm grateful for Paulie and the Collecting and Connecting Network. When I go live, I go live on my YouTube channel, Sports Card Collectors Club, but I also go live on Collecting and Connecting, their channel, which is I think has over 10,000. And then hey, Chewy Wolf, hello, happy Saturday. What's up, dude? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Chewy is awesome. I just saw congratulations to your son. He was doing some track and field stuff. Got to hang out with Chewy Wolf at the Summer League NBA Top Shot event. His son's a really good basketball player too. He got to go up against Jake Laravia, and that was pretty awesome to watch. I am now going to be super coaching Jake Laravia, and I hope to get him on my NBA 2K team at some point. I'm still in playing in 1983. I got a long way to go. Okay, so this is the only mega box, but hopefully we're going to deliver some really good luck. We need to shake things up. So here we go. Yeah, one of the things about the sports card hobby, but all hobbies, is community, right? And the NBA Top Shop is kind of a fascinating thing because it's a virtual community, right? Everyone's doing it on their phones or on their laptop, but you make these friendships, and then you get to go to these in-person events like the Summer League, and then everyone gets to connect in person, and it's really wild because you get to meet people that you have met. Like, for example, Paulie and I have been online together several times. I've been on his show. He's been on my show. Then you meet in person, and it's really wild. It's really special. So community is important, and I'm grateful for my newfound friends in the community. I spent 10 years just writing books. Just in the basement, hardcore, 24/7, doing my day job, writing books all night long, and I spent no time enjoying the hobby. I was just too busy writing books. And then I got to a point where I was like, it's time to slow down the publishing. Let me just breathe a little bit, enjoy myself, do some, social media stuff. Now I host, 2 podcasts. I'm also a recurring guest on 2 others. So I had to free up some time to do that. But I've also really enjoyed doing all my shows live, because when you do it live, you have the chat. So the chat's not always, vocal. Sometimes the chat's quiet. But when the chat gets really busy, it's cool. You start to see a lot of the recurring names and faces and stuff like that, and you really do feel that community starting to really grow. It's really rewarding, and I'm grateful for everyone who comes and hangs out with us. But believe me, I make no mistake. It's Paulie's Collecting and Connecting network that provides the foundation, and if it wasn't for that, it might not be 439 people here. There might be 4. So shout out to Paulie and everyone in the NBA Top Shot community and everyone who supports the Collecting and Connecting network. For example, the High Hard One show, which is tomorrow night. Last week we had 20,000 people watching. That's humbling. That's really terrific. I hope we have the same kind of turnout this week. We probably will. We will be talking about the Los Angeles Dodgers scandal. All right, let's see if we can pull some fire here. We're definitely due, my friend, because so far we've been pulling a lot of base. Well, here we go. All right, so this guy's pretty good. Look, we need good role models in our society. And this guy has so far proven to be a really, really good role model. He is quirky. He is funny. He is goofy. He's a total nerd. He's not going to be at strip clubs late at night. He'll be late at night, watching film. I pulled 2 of this guy last night. I think I saw a video last night that said this card's not going for $100 on eBay. If that's true, that's pretty insane. That cannot be sustained. But I do hope he has a really good season. It's hard for me to say. I'm a Chiefs fan, and the Raiders are the evil empire, but I like this guy a lot, and I'm rooting for him. In fact, let's get him into the gallery right away. So far, the energy definitely has changed, because I love Fernando Mendoza. It's not a big strong draft class this year, but he is the guy to pull. Hopefully we can pull some of his parallels. That'll be fun if we can pull that off. All right, there's Jordan Tyson rookie. That's another Lane rookie. Matt Hollins, Jacoby Brissett, Myles Garrett. Will Campbell with the, I'm not sure what that's called. And then Puka Nakua. My dog is with me. You go potty outside? You good? I think he's good. He's under my desk. He's just chilling. All right, pack number 2. Here we go. Ed Oliver, Kyron Williams, Marvin Mims, Juwan Johnson, Jackson Dart, Future Stars, very nice. Tucker Kraft, Sean Gary, David Bailey. Pulling this guy a lot, yeah. Ooh, not numbered. That's a cool looking card for Trevor Lawrence. I feel like Trevor Lawrence was so good in college at Clemson. He's had his moments in the NFL. He's taken his team to the playoffs a couple times. I feel like he's not had a good supporting cast around him, but I still think he's got he's a real talent. That's a cool card. He's a quarterback. I think that goes in the gallery. And then George Pickens. Okay, so it looks like my dog is weaseling off his diaper that he has on to protect his cut thing. But maybe he's doing that also because he wants to go potty. So bear with me, guys. We'll take a quick break. I'll put on this loop, and I'll take him outside, all right? I'll be right back. Bear with me. Thanks. Be right back. Remember, 466 in the chat. If we come back and there's more, I salute you. Be right back, guys. Thanks.
This month, we have some great sports card stories from across the U.S. and talk to an author from nearby Leawood, Kansas, who has written a book about returning to collecting after 3 decades away.
My day job is I'm a financial advisor, so I've been investing for over 20 years. In a way to express my love for the hobby, I decided, what if I write an investment book, Sports Card Collectors Club, and treat the stock market the same way I would treat the card market. And so I thought, well, how would a day trader invest in cards? How would a venture capitalist buy and sell cards? How would a hedge fund do it? As I would go through my trials and tribulations, I realized that for as much fun as I was having investing, there was something missing. And one day I was watching the Royals game on television, and it was a rain delay. And the Card Life television show came on. I was watching that episode, I was watching Matt Strom open cards and rip packs, and I started getting the warm, fuzzy feeling. I said, this is what I want to be doing. I want to get back to really collecting and ripping cards and building sets. And that's where the story of my book has changed. I go from investing back to collecting.
I'll also open a variety of boxes from different sports. So he hit the home run off me in like the 7th inning. And then in the 8th inning, JT hit a double, so he's standing on second. And Mason Wynn asked him, he's like, hey JT, he's like, I heard Strom collects cards of guys that take him deep. He's like, does that mean he's gonna send me over a couple cards to sign tomorrow? And after the game, we had won. I mean, winning is the only thing that's important to me. So it's like, I was good after the game, whatever, and JT comes up to me and he's like, hey Stromy, he was really genuine. Like he wasn't taking shots. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, when I got to second, Mason asked if you're gonna send a card over for him.
I'm just looking around my basement here, just walls covered with concert posters and toys, and just like, I have no intention of selling these things. I collect because I want to show off the things I love and do it in fun ways. And it just never crossed my mind that, hey, I'm going to go buy this thing just so I can resell it. Like that to me isn't a pure collector mentality. And obviously things change and times change. And, in order for things to survive right now, you have to have that sort of chase for something valuable.
Yeah, it needs to be a circus. You know what? The truth is, I actually watched the live stream on eBay Live with Ken Golden and Logan Paul. They ripped a box of 86 Flair and a box of Series 1 Pokemon. And you know what? It was very entertaining. They're both polarizing characters. I thought it was entertaining. But you know what? After every pull, they immediately are showing the value. And it begs the question, are we creating, not we, is the industry creating a gambling culture which has a real downside?
It already has. Right. Not created. It's here.
Yeah, and that's a concern. I guess for me, I hope to be an influence where we focus more on collecting, because you know what, when markets crash, collectors don't get hurt at all. Because the Sandy Koufax you bought that because it makes you feel good. It brings back good memories.
Said this one traded for my first big win. Jonathan Fink on the line tonight.
You have created community, so let's talk about that. I went to Rip Night at your shop. Let's rip it on the pack. And I went to your Rip Night 2 years ago, and it was one of the best. I wrote about it in volume 1. It was one of the best times I've ever had. You guys had this giant scoreboard where you had the chase cards, and everyone can buy whatever product you wanted, like buy 3, get 1 free, whatever product, whatever it was. You then, if you pull a Bronny James, you then get another blaster. Or I pulled a Reed Shepherd auto, and then I got a free T-shirt. And I sat around the table with strangers and had the best time ever. So let's talk about how important community is. And what you guys do is provide an anchor for community in our town. How important that is.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, one of our taglines, we say we'll make an offer on anything, but like you said, I mean, we got to pay what it's worth, and so if it's junk wax, it's going to be junk wax prices, which unfortunately, a lot of people end up thinking that their 87 Topps Barry Bonds is going to be a couple $100.
It's worth nothing, people.
Brand and notoriety. And so when you're pitching these stories to these athletes, like I've reached out to a couple of different athletes about writing a potential article about their collections and having them kind of share their story. And it's like, yes, like I write for collectibles on SI, which is under the Sports Illustrated umbrella. It does carry weight. Like it does, people recognize that brand. It is important. And so I'm super grateful that I've been given the opportunity to write for that staff.
The top segment that was done by you on you was so well produced, right? Did all that come from the conversation you had with Michael Rubin? Is that how that put you on the map to such an extent that all those opportunities happened? How did that happen? Did you get a call one day?
Said this one traded for my first big win. Jonathan Fink on the line tonight with a pack in hand and a story that bites.
I didn't even collect when I was 3 years old, like when this card came out, but he just pulled a good one. Roman Anthony, from Dempsey, I love Wichita State. I would have been thrilled if he went to Tulane, but his parents have roots in Nebraska. So for him, it was coming home. And so Nebraska got a good one. And so I'm not surprised that program's on the rise because they got a great stadium. They have great resources. They got a great fan base with people like you. And their recruiting is fantastic. They're finding the talented kids. So
yeah, in fact,
the Big Ten.
So yeah, Will Bolt, the head coach, he actually played at Nebraska when I was traveling with the Nebraska team in the late '90s. He was down at Texas A&M when I worked at Texas A&M. Rob Childers is the pitching coach, and I was on the hiring committee that hired him away from Nebraska to come down at Texas A&M, and they're thrilled that he's back here in Nebraska. He's a genius. The number of players in pro ball right now that went through Rob Childress, so he'll be under good guidance when he gets up here to Nebraska. They're good people.
One kid found a mantle in the rain. One old friend came back with the same old.
All right, guys, we are back. Thank you for your patience. My dog Buddy, God bless him, he's the best. He's wearing this diaper because he's got this like cyst on his side, and it keeps like gnawing it, and it gets all pussy and it's infected. We're trying to let it heal. So instead of putting this dog collar on him, which I think is kind of inhumane, which we have to do for like surgery or whatever, but like we're putting the diaper on him instead. And then if he goes potty, I guess he'll go in the diaper, but he doesn't want to. He wants to go outside. But I couldn't. So he was under my desk. He was kind of just chilling. I wasn't sure if he was getting, just like trying to get my attention or whatever. And what he was doing is he was like maneuvering, and he was trying to get his diaper off of him, and he successfully did it. Which of course that meant he was going to start gnawing maybe at his thing again. Then I realized he might need to go outside, which we did, and he did. Just gave him a tree upstairs. He might come back down. We'll see. If he does, I'll go upstairs and get his bed so we can actually chill and be in comfort. But anyway, I love it. You guys the community here is amazing. When I left, there was like 466 people, and then I come back and there's 549. So yeah, so welcome back everyone. Welcome all the new people. Let me get these yeah, no, that's fine actually. Okay, so far we've pulled this Ted Hurst on-card auto. We've got a Fernando Mendoza rookie. And then, honestly, let's be honest. Does Trevor Lawrence really deserve the gallery? I think that was a little too premature. Let's keep going. We're going through the mega box. We're turning our luck around. We were really in Bust City, but we did pull the Mendoza in the first pack. So let's see if we can keep the luck going with this mega box. Like Chewy Wolf says, let's pull some fire. There's Puka, Theo Johnson, Caleb Williams, Malik Neighbors, Christian McCaffrey, Daniel Henderson, Jalen Ramsey, Cooper Kupp, C.D. Stroud, Sam Darnold with the 35th anniversary. Bus pack. It's all right. Let's keep going. 180 cards in this total mega box. I think it's 12 packs.
15 cards each, so it is $50. It's not cheap, but you do get a lot of, I can't say it's value, but you get a lot of cards. Yeah, this product is printed to the moon and back. It's on purpose. It's meant to be that way. It's meant to keep the price low, so scalpers can't jack up the prices because it's all about supply and demand. If there's plenty of supply and supply overwhelms demand, then prices will stay low. And so far, they've achieved that. And that was a bus pack. Oh, well. So I think Topps actually doing a good job. Some of the products, the more elite stuff, the chrome stuff, is going to be printed less. It'll be in higher demand. The secondary market will be much more vibrant. They don't want to see blasters of Topps Chrome flagship selling for more than $25. In fact, they're really encouraging the local stores to keep that price. RJ Harvey. Garrett Nussmeier. Vlad McConkey. Our boy Shedeur Sanders. Whoa. They brought back coach cards. Bill Cowher, one of the great coaches of my generation. Not numbered. And I don't know if that's purple or pink. I had Michaela Bear on my show, the Sports Card Collectors Club, last Tuesday night, and she super collects Stephen Kwan pink cards. She has literally 4,000 or 5,000 of them, which is really incredible. And then we got the greatest hits with I don't remember this moment. December 14th, 2025. Alohi Gilman, pick 6 for TD against the Bengals. I must have not watched that game. I don't remember that play. Okay, so far this mega box has not been mega. We've pulled one Fernando Mendoza rookie card, and everything else is, in my opinion, is gonna bust. It's still fun, entertaining. Yeah, absolutely. I love this shit, but not profitable. That's for sure. League leaders: Chris Olave, Milton Williams. Yeah, so I went to college at Tulane, and I did go to a few Saints games. So for a minute, I kind of had a brief love affair with the Saints. But I've been a Chiefs fan ever since I met my wife. In fact, I met her at Tulane, and one of the first times we hung out was to watch a Monday Night Football game because she was a freshman, and there were none of her friends wanted to watch a Monday Night Football game, and the Chiefs playing the Raiders. And so she called me, and she's like, "What are you guys doing tonight?" I'm like, "Watching the Chiefs game." She's like, "Can I come over and watch with you guys?" I'm like, "Absolutely." And that was it. I was in love. C.J. Daniels, rookie. Cyrus Allen, he's got a lot of upside this year. I'll be drafting him late in the draft this year for sure. Davion Thomas, Rico Dowdle, Jalen Coker, Carson Schweitzinger, Myles Garrett with the, I don't know what they call this thing, but it's a cool little insert. Much cooler if it was numbered, like my Caleb Williams pull from last night. And then Isaac Tesla, I just like his name. Whoa, this one is numbered, though. Look at this. The Greatest Hits has a version that is numbered out of 150. I can't imagine that anyone's going to want this in the secondary market. Can this be more than a $2 card? I'm guessing not, but it makes the gallery because it's a numbered card, and we know that is very rare, especially in this overprinted product. And by the way, I'm happy it's overprinted. They should overprint it. That's the purpose. They want to keep this price low. They want to get cards into the hands of everybody, not just the snipers and the box breakers. So you actually can see on the floor over there. Oh shit! I just knocked the camera. On the floor there, those are all the different cards and packs that I've pulled because I'm keeping track because I'll be writing about these cards and turning these rip sessions into a story that will be featured in the Card Life Volume 3 of the Sports Card Collectors Club. Pack rips is always a part of all my sports card books. And really, the way I think about it is it's kind of like how you watch me rip packs here. It's just reading about me rip packs, but you actually can do a lot in the literary form that you also can do live, but it's a little different because when you're writing, I can go research something and pull information, pull stats. I can't do that live. I guess I could, but not the way that I roll, you know. So I think there's a ton of benefit of doing it live, but then also so writing about it, but then also having the video recording of everything that we do. There's Chase Young. First time we've pulled Jared Goff. Khalil Shakur. Tony Pollard. Caleb Banks. Brian Burns. Xavier McKinney. DeAndre Swift. Ooh, another numbered card. Boom. DJ Moore out of 2026. Okay, so for those keeping score at home, this mega box produced the Fernando Mendoza rookie card, which could be anywhere from $20 to $100. We pulled the Isaac Tesla greatest hits out of 150 card, and now we just pulled this DJ Moore out of 2026. Now again, $5 card, probably more like $2 to $3 card, but it's still another number. It's still a second number card in the mega box, which I think is noteworthy, as I say. Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. might be a bust, guys. Let's be honest. It could be a bust. We'll see. Meanwhile, this mega box is just so plentiful. We still got more to go. We have like half the box to go still. So I'm feeling better about this rip. We got to a really slow start. Then we pulled the auto out of the first fat pack, which I thought was very, very cool. Then more bust vibrations in the next blaster, and then the other hanger, and then now the mega. We hope to change our luck, and then we did, so that's good. Superstitions, rituals are intact. Vindicated, justified. Max Crosby, Joey Porter Jr., Rashid Rice. His off the field issues are an issue for me. It's hard to root for this guy. We'll see if he can stay healthy. We'll see if he can stay out of trouble, and we'll see if he can have a big season. Football gods are always watching, my friends. You haven't pulled this one yet. Taylor Green. I don't think so. Tyler Show. AJ Terrell Jr., Chuba Hubbard. Oh, did we pull another numbered card? We did. Whoa. Lewis Bond. Holy shit, guys. David Bailey out of 50. It looks super photoshopped, this rookie card. 35th anniversary, but out of 35. So that is the third numbered card in this mega box. That's sick. Not the biggest player, super Photoshop, but low number. And we still got 4 packs to go. Pretty good, people. I'm entertained. Are you not entertained? Oh, shit. Hold on. Yeah, 591 in the chat now. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. You could be doing anything right now, and I appreciate you doing it with me. I don't care how you're doing it. You could be on a treadmill right now. You could be doing your dishes. You could be in bed, getting ready for sleep. And if you're going to sleep to me, I say it's an honor. Yeah. I've gone to sleep to many YouTubers, and it's never an insult. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I really do. All right, don't know this guy. Ollie Gordon II. He was good in college, yeah. Stevenson, Jeffrey Simmons. Stat leaders rushing: Cook, Henry, and Taylor. Jontavion Sanders, Abdul Carter. Notice the All-Star. It's kind of like the All-Star Cup in baseball. They do this now for football. Katron Allen, Elijah Sarrett, it's Peter Woods. Yeah, I noticed the Chiefs drafted a lot of defensive players this year. I'm cool with that. Although I think they need more. They still need offensive line help, but defense wins championships. There's Trayvon Henderson, Bijan Robinson. He could have a big year in fantasy, I think. And then shiny Jacoby Lane rookie card, and then Jamar Chase. All right, that had some nice shiny stuff, but I'll give that a bust designation. But again, we've got 3 packs to go, and we still pulled 3 numbered cards and a Fernando Mendoza rookie from this mega box. Now it's the only one we have, but that's pretty good so far, I'd say. I don't know if they promised any. Cameron Dicker. This guy, I don't remember him from last year. Kunshan Junkins, but yet he was an all-star. That's just my bad, I guess. Dak Prescott. Sometimes you get tunnel vision, like you follow the players on your fantasy team, and then like you may not you watch mostly your favorite team. You don't get to watch every game of all the different teams. Since I don't anymore, I'm too busy writing. So there are players that slip through my cracks. There used to be a time in fantasy sports where I knew every player, like so hardcore. I still love playing fantasy sports, believe me, but I'm probably not as sharp as I used to be when I had the time to really research the stuff. I spend a lot of my free time now listening to sports card, content instead of watching like fantasy sports stuff on my walks and stuff like that. Jordan Davis. That might change as we get closer to the season, and during the season we'll see. But I love the sports card hobby, man. I love the content, and I'm enjoying making it too now. There's Brock Bowers, and then Devon Achane. All right, that's some shiny stuff, but that was a bust. George Kittle, one of the great personalities in the sport. Chase Brown, big upside guy. NFL leaders for rushing. Braylon Allen. First time we've pulled an Aaron Rodgers card. I thought it might be a conspiracy where they put Aaron Rodgers in very low print because he's so outspoken and the league's mad at him because he didn't get the vax when they tried to force him to, and then turns out he was probably right to not get the vax. But there you go. Shout out to you, Aaron Rodgers. I respect you, man. You're a real truther, dude. DJ Turner, Khalil Mack, Malik Benson, Justin Herbert, Sam Laporta, CeeDee Lamb, and Puka Nacua. Call that like it is. That was a bust. All right, last pack from the Mega, but let's be honest, this Mega was good. Very solid. Fernando Mendoza rookie card and 3 numbered cards. Yeah, not big name players, but 1 out of 50, 1 out of 50, and 1 out of 2026. So, that's fair. Trey Harris, Juwan Walker, Seattle Seahawks, Josh Downs, Ashton Genty, Bobby Wagner, Marvell Reese, Kevin Coleman. First time we've pulled Saquon Barkley. And then look at this. The last pack magic. The mega box comes through with our second Fernando Mendoza from this box. 4th overall. First time rookie card with the 35th anniversary. That's awesome. I'm rooting for this kid. I think he's such a great role model so far. I love his story when he transferred from Cal to Indiana, and he bet on himself, and then he had just one of the best college football seasons of all time, getting to face Miami, a team that didn't want him. He's from Miami originally. What a great story, dude. Okay, so check this out. With the exception of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards from that mega that are now in the gallery, this was the whole stash from that mega box. So yeah, it's $50. Probably should be like $35 if I'm being honest. But in today's world, $50 is kind of reasonable, I guess. It's what you expect to pay. But you get a lot of ripping, pretty good value actually, and I actually got some pretty decent hits. So we'll put this in the stack over there. Hold on. So I wish we can pull another mega box because I thought that was some good mojo. We should keep the good energy going, but we can't. So let's go with a hanger. Maybe this time the hanger will be bangers. Let's see. Yes, sleek new look, but it's weird because it's like compact and heavy, kind of like I feel like you could throw it like a rock. Didn't do a good job there. Drew and FT, what up, dude? Cheers. Cheers to you as well. Good to see you, dude. It's been a while since I've seen you in the chat. I appreciate you saying hello. You know, one of the reasons why I do the live stuff, I mean, I always risk, like, you know, having technical problems or saying something stupid or stuttering or whatever, or my dog interrupting the session or whatever, my phone going off. But I go live because of the chat. I love the idea of being raw and authentic, but I also love the idea of being a vehicle for the community to get together, you know? And so it's really more than me just opening packs. It's people just having a vehicle to kind of talk and share and say what's up. So cheers to you too, Drew. Appreciate you, man. All right, here we go. This is a, you know, talk about value. A hanger you get for $15. How many? I don't know how many cards. Doesn't say anywhere, does it? I don't know. I guess we can count, but whatever. But you just get one big thick stack of cards. There's Malik Willis. I think he can be good this year. We'll see. Amon St. Brown. Very bullish on this guy this year. For fantasy. Cam Ward. Barish. Woody Marks. Dude, Bucky Irving, dude. I had the last pick, wraparound pick, my fantasy draft last year. And I was hoping to go wide receiver, but the league for some reason went very wide receiver heavy. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll go running back, wide receiver, and I picked up Bucky Irving, and he got hurt early in the year and never came back. And it's hard to recover from that when you lose your first round pick. Travis Hunter, he got hurt last year. I hope he can stay healthy. Curious to see if he'll be two-way again. Maybe he'll just play cornerback or just wide receiver. We'll see. DJ Metcalf. Brian Young. Casey's finest. Look at that. The duo. So I've only won a fantasy football championship once. I was in a league actually with all my college buddies, but then they changed the rules, and I had a principal I had to resign, and they never welcomed me back in. We never resolved those issues. And actually, the same issue came up in my new league, which is not new. For years, I've been playing with my old camp friends. And the same thing came up, and they did the right thing that time, which is interesting. But yeah, my first year, so I was out of fantasy football for like a year or two, and then finally I was like, all right, I'll join my old friends from camp. And my first year in that league, I had the wraparound pick. This was many years ago now, and I took Kelsey and Mahomes, and so I had the back-to-back, and we won it all. Last year, I did it again. I had the wraparound pick, and I picked them in the, I think, 5th and 6th round, and it didn't work, and my team sucked. But I'll always be grateful to Kelsey and Mahomes because there's nothing like having the two best players of your favorite team on your fantasy team and then being successful. You know, they won the championship that year as well, so that was just amazing. Jalen Hurts, first time we've pulled him. First, Michael Parsons. Trey Hendrickson, Buffalo Bills, Keon Coleman, Drake May, Isaiah Likely, Bo Nix. I do like the orange pants. It's pretty sweet. Justin Jefferson. Went to college with a buddy named Ravi Shah. In college at Tulane, he played for the tennis team, although he battled back injuries most of his career. But then he became a doctor and a neurologist, and he's now like the concussion specialist for the Broncos. He's like the guy on the field when like guy like Bo Nix gets hurt. So it's a pretty sweet job. So shout out to Ravi Shah, Dr. Ravi Shah. Bryce Young, Cameron Haywood, Achane, Nico Collins, Nick Bolton, Harrison Butker. Nick Butker tonight, it's only preseason. He hit a 69-yard field goal, longest ever. Longest was 68. Also, the only player not invited to the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift wedding from the team, FYI. Jeremiah Love. So this is a guy that's so photoshopped. It's like insane. Yeah, does that deserve the gallery? I don't know. I think only Mendoza does. That's a really good pull right there. Let's keep track of that for the hanger of banger thesis. TJ Parker, Josh Cameron, TJ Williams, Caleb Douglas, Eli Stowers, Malachi Fields, Jeremy Bernard, Emmett Johnson. Whoa! All right, hold on. In the same. All right, hold on. We'll come back to that in a second. Micah Parsons, Baker Mayfield greatest hits, Derrick Henry ticket, back-to-back refractors, Emmanuel Henderson Jr. and Alec Pierce. Get Garrett Wilson with the refractor shine, Trevor Lawrence. But look at this. In this hanger was, I guess this hanger was a banger, right? I mean, come on. Back-to-back Jeremiah Love, 35th anniversary, and his regular rookie card. I think that's significant enough, my friends, to get into the gallery. One of Notre Dame's best running backs ever, and in the pros, I think he can really be special. So hard to have a long career as a running back. The injuries really pile up. I don't know if the Arizona Cardinals offensive line is be good enough to really give him the big holes. You need that. Hey, Drew, comment. Yeah, hard to live up to the hype with a lot of these guys. Fancy pros been helping a ton. Oh, nice. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, the key is getting, Drew, the key to fantasy is getting advice from sources that not everyone else in the league is also gain their information from. Because if everyone's like watching football guys with the same, CBS dudes, whatever, then everyone's going to be chasing the same free agents and stuff like that. It's important, just like in investing and in life, it's good to zig when everyone else is zagging. So you don't want to be chasing the same thing everyone else is chasing. But it's good. It's definitely good to have good information. No one knows the future. Injuries are so unpredictable, but there definitely are people out there in YouTube land who do the research. And all you're asking when you're betting on games or playing fantasy is you're playing probabilities, and you just want to, in investing too. And I invest for a living. It's also true whether you're investing in gold and silver or cryptocurrency, whatever. You're looking at charts and information that you have, and you're just trying to make the best decision you have with the limited amount of information that you have, and you try to get as much information as you can. That hanger I thought was pretty good. We pulled 2 Jeremiah Love rookie cards. All right, what's next? Let's see. Let's do another hanger. So I remember when we started with 5 people and we got to 15. I remember celebrating at 400. Well, now I want to celebrate at 600. Thank you to 600 people who are joining for this rip session. I appreciate each and every one of you. I literally am grateful for you. I value your time. You can spend your time doing anything, and you're spending it hanging out with me. So thank you very much. I'm grateful. I really am. I can't control the cards that come out. Hopefully, the cards themselves, the pulls are entertaining. But that's up to the sports card gods. But what I can control is just being me. And obviously, just you guys choosing to hang out with me, I really appreciate it. I really do. All right, next hanger box. Let's do it. These go for $15 retail. I like these cheap alternatives. We did pull the auto from a fat pack that was $7 from Dick's Sporting Goods. So I only pulled 2 fat packs, and the second one was a bust. But I'd like to believe that the fat packs were loaded. So I'll try to get my hands on some more of those cheap fat packs, and we'll find out. If that's true, that would be good to know. I think that'd be very cool if that is the case. Because that's the cheapest product of all the different SKUs, and those would be the ones that the kids would be buying. And I think it'd be cool if those products are loaded. So like 15-year-old, 13-year-old, 10-year-old, 8-year-old kids are pulling autos. That would just be awesome. All right, here we go. Baker Mayfield. Denzel Boston. Jordan Love. We got 2 35th anniversaries. Ooh, what's this? Jackson Dart profile. Trey McBride. Now, do you consider that pink or purple? I had the pleasure of interviewing super collector Michaela Bear last Tuesday. So do go check out my show, Sports Card Collectors Club. You can find that on Collecting and Connecting Network and also on the Sports Card Collectors Club YouTube channel. And she super collects Stephen Kwan and Pink cards. I think she has over 4,000. This is a good-looking card, and because I think it is pink, I'm going to give it a gallery and say shout out to you, Michaela. If you're watching tonight, you're awesome. You're my new best friend. All right, we got Jerry Judy with the Fun Refractor. I don't know what this is called officially. If anyone knows, let me know. Well, there's two of them there. Hold on. Derek Moore. All right, Matthew Golden, Future Stars. Jake Ferguson, one of the underrated tight ends in the league. A lot of good tight ends this year in fantasy football, big time. Jake Ferguson, you can get like in the 10th round. I'm hoping to get Travis Kelce in the late rounds. Like last year, no one wanted him. No one wanted him even more this year. He came in out of shape. But I think by midseason, I mentioned this already early in the stream, but I think he can be by midseason form, and I think he can have a great back half and then be ready to be awesome for the playoffs. T. Higgins, Alvin Kamara, back-to-back Saints, love that. James Cook, Jordan Addison, Dalton Kincaid, Adonai Mitchell, Mason Graham, Mark Andrews. I hate to say it, but whenever I think of Mark Andrews, I think about when he dropped that ball in the end zone in the playoffs. It's terrible, but it's true. TJ Watt. I haven't watched the episode yet, but I think he makes a guest appearance, a cameo in Tyre's TV show. That should be fun. Ted Johnson, Daniel Jones. This is a great name. Villa, Will Anderson Jr., league leader in tackles. Jaden Higgins, Ed Oliver, Derek Brown. Geno Smith. Is Geno Smith the answer for the Jets? I don't think so. George Pickens, Chop Robinson, Kenneth Walker III, Cam Scattaboo, Byron Murphy, Travis Kelce, Dylan Gabriel, Quentin Nelson, Tua. He should retire, by the way. He's had so many concussions. Jan Miller, Antonio Williams, Denzel Boston, Ted Hurst. We pulled his auto. Did we not? Yeah. That's cool, man. Caleb Downs. So like, he's a cornerback, but he might wind up being the best rookie in the whole draft. We'll see. He could become a shutdown corner. He was so good at Ohio State. Cornerbacks don't have a lot of value in the market, unfortunately, but this should be considered like an exciting card to pull as far as like just ability and raw talent and etc. All right. Yeah, bust, right? Or did we get? Yeah, I think that was a bust. So I like the base design. It's simple, not flashy, but I think it works for me. Some of the hobby people were complaining that they don't love the insert designs this year. Look, Panini had a lot of problems, but one thing they did do well was they had really cool inserts, beautiful designs, Kaboom, Downtown, etc. I think Topps is still searching for their iconic inserts that are going to become the next, Kaboom comparison kind of cards. I think they'll get there eventually. You just got to keep trying, experimenting. They should have me down to their offices for a focus group. I'm happy to give them my opinions. Okay, it's blaster boxes here on out, guys. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. We've already been going for an hour and a half. I don't know if we'll reach there tonight. The longest stream ever so far in the Card Life Chronicles Rip Sessions history, for those keeping score at home, is 3 hours. It was 2 hours. We broke that a few weeks ago. I don't remember the largest amount of people. Now, total, I was on a show last week that had 20,000, the High Hard one. I think the first interview I ever did for my flagship show, Sports Card Collectors Club, I had Brandon Verzel from the Card Life. I think we hit 3,000 for that one. I want to say for my live rip sessions, I think we had 1,900 as my highest. I think that's the highest. But I did a rip session last week, and there was only 30 people in it. It doesn't matter to me. I'm grateful for anyone who comes hang out with me. I literally am really grateful for each and every one of you. So 600 people tonight, that's awesome. Saturday night, that's amazing. Monroe Freeland, Chris McLennan, Malaki Starks. I do realize sometimes it's not about me; it's about the new product. I noticed that I had really good turnouts in the thousands when I was ripping Topps Chrome basketball update before the Cooper flag got pulled, and then after it got pulled, my numbers weren't as good. So a lot of it has to do with this being a brand new product, but that's okay. It's all good. That's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to share with the community. Lots of people out there did rip their own cards and want to see other people rip more, so they can get a feel for the product. And there's people out there who don't get a chance to rip cards and get to live vicariously through people like me. So I'm happy to provide the service, for real. Jared Goff, RJ Harvey. Look at this guy. He's probably had surgery in both his arms. Look at that. Garrett Wilson, Caleb Williams. All right, that was the first pack was bust. Nick Singleton, Cole Payton, Ruben Bain Jr., Keon Mitchell, Jalen Johnson, Dexter Lawrence. Passing league leaders, we got Stafford, Goff, and Prescott, Chris Olave, Jahmyr Gibbs, Daniel Jones, and Caleb Williams. That's a decent pack. Some good names, but still a bust. Pack number 3. Deion Burks, Cornell Tate, Sam Laporta, CeeDee Lamb, Saquon Barkley, Jaden Reed, Emeka Ibuka, what a great name, Detroit Lions, Michael Pittman Jr., Elik Ayomanor, Alec Pierce, and Brennan Thompson bust pack. All right, that's 3 bust packs in a row for this blaster. Anthony Smith, Baron Morton, Sonny Styles, that's a cool name. Trey Tucker, cool name. Kyler Murray, just got the starting job in Minnesota. Justin Herbert, hot girlfriend. Jackson with Jaguars. Josh Jacobs, legal trouble. Quote the Ravens. Malik Neighbors, injured all the time. Christian McCaffrey, injured all the time. Cameron Dicker, the kicker, it rhymes. Bust pack. 2 to go. The blasters have not been good so far, guys. Fat pack, yes. Megas, yes. Hangers, decent, yeah. Avion Terrell, Seth McGowan, Gadsden, Bijan Robinson, Devontae Adams, Tyrone Chasey Jr., Drake London, TJ Hawkinson, Rev It Up, Sauce Gardner, name your kid Sauce, that's hilarious. Tyler Warren, Brock Purdy, greatest hits, Mr. Irrelevant. Bust pack. Let's put a few fun cards there. Holy cow, dude. Last pack magic. We really need it. This has been another blaster that's been totally worthless. Just $30 down the drain, $25 plus tax. Keldrick Falk, Chris Johnson II. I think that's Chris Johnson's kid. Isn't that insane? Chris Johnson ran for 2,000 yards with Tennessee Titans many years ago. Caden Wetjen, Chuba Hubbard, Travion Henderson, Puka Nakua, great name, Theo Johnson, Caleb Williams, Tucker Kraft, Rashawn Gray, a veteran, John Elway, one of the absolute greats, and then Jackson Dart, second year, 35th anniversary. Holy shit, that was the last pack, guys. No last pack magic. 100% garbage. This is what happens though when you have a product that you have to print a lot of. Some people are going to buy their one and only blaster, and they better love football, because if you're doing this for numbered cards or autos, you become a very disappointed collector, right? So, guys, here's the conundrum. Your thoughts manifest, right? So you got to have positive thoughts to help manifest your preferred reality. So you got to be optimistic that the next pack's going to be good, because you have to coordinate with universe and the card gods, right? On the other hand, you got to be realistic. You can't become delusional. You got to only spend money that you can afford to spend, because 9 out of 10 times the pack you're going to open are going to be total busts. And if you love a player or a team, then just go on eBay and buy the singles. If you're looking to pull them, the odds of you pulling them are low, and the odds of having a valuable pack is also low. So you rip packs for entertainment, and it's because it's fun and you love to do it. But don't do this because of investment. Just watch enough of my videos and you'll see that that's the case. Nevertheless, I do it because I absolutely freaking love it. It's so much fun, and if you love it as much as I do, then you should do it too. However, one of the themes I'm going to be writing about in Volume 4 is about money management and budgeting and the cost of cards and how expensive it is, how the hobby's becoming. And it doesn't have to be that way. Now, I personally love the junk wax era because that's the time that I grew up. But the point is, there's all kinds of products that are out there that you can't find cheap because they were overprinted or whatever. And if you just enjoy the process of opening packs, then you can go find stuff from the 1980s, 1989, tops, and you can find hot boxes sealed for $35, $40, and you get to rip, 36 packs for the cost of one blaster, If you really want cheap stuff, you can go find hockey cards from the 80s, really, really cheap. I mean, supply and demand, right? If you find NBA 90s, so expensive right now. Like, Shaquille O'Neal is finally blowing up in price. Like, all the GOATs blowing up in price, now Shaq's going up. And now you're seeing all the seal wax from the 90s, like 92, 93, actually have 2 sealed boxes. Like, that's going berserk. That's Shaq's rookie year. Now the prices are going berserk. But rightfully so. Shaq was dominant. He did win a championship. He has been a very well-liked and very prominent celebrity in retirement. He's on TV every night. Boom! Fernando Mendoza again. Very nice. Great start. So the blaster finally came through. So I can see how Shaq would be a good investment and will continue to. Actually, speaking of Shaq, I just purchased a 1994 Team USA sealed high box for my junk wax book that I'm going to write, and hopefully we'll pull some Shaq cards. That'll be pretty awesome. Jordan Tyson, Jacoby Lane, Travis Hunter, Chris Goodwin, Trayvon Walker, Khalil Shakur, Jordan Mason, Jameer Gibbs. How do you pronounce it? Talano Hufango, Trevor Lawrence with the Stars of the League, and then Puka Nacua, 35th anniversary. David Bailey. Wow, pronounce this guy's name 5 times fast. Isaiah Bond, Tyler Algier, Isaac Tesla, Christian Gonzalez, Harold Fenton Jr., Max Crosby, RJ Harvey, Kayvon Thibodeau. Ooh, Harrison Butker, Mr. 69-yard field goal tonight with the parallel, and George Pickens with the ticket card. Some fun cards in that one. Still a bust, if I'm being honest. Ian Brown, Jim Metcalf, Matthew Golden, Future Stars, Jake Ferguson, Penny Sewell, Ollie Gordon II, Cameron Dicker, Milton Williams, Aloha Gilman, Bus Pack. Emmanuel Henderson Jr., Max Clark, Devontae Smith, Darren Payne, Brandon Aubrey, Keyshawn Junkins, Dak Prescott, George Kittle, Mike Evans, my boy Patrick Mahomes, Nick Bolton with the cool parallel, and Skylar Bell. So I don't know if you guys read books. Some of you guys don't, but some of you guys might listen to books. I've been putting my audiobooks on YouTube for free. Republic Baseball Volume 1 is complete, every chapter, and I'm, I think, halfway through uploading Spirits of the Gridiron, my story about Beck Jordan, Simpson College, and the College Football League. So I'll put those two up, and then I'll probably put up the Sports Card Collectors Club Volume 1, and then I'll then do RBL Volume 2, and then probably RBL Volume 3. Brennan Thompson, Brees Hall, Chase Brown, league leaders, Trey Harris, Nick Bosa, first time we pulled him, Ed Oliver, Bo Nix, Bus Pack, 1 to go. Sports Card Gods, Last Pack Magic, activate. Ooh, I see something. Nico Collins. Jamar Chase, All-Star, Garrett Nussmeier. Oh, this cornerback I think could be good for the Chiefs. I'm fingers crossed for him. T. Higgins, Alvin Kamara. Bust. All right. Nothing. Yeah, I guess I had one Fernando Mendoza. Again, we have to confirm the price on that. If it's a $20 card, then $5 loss on that blaster, no big deal. If it's actually a $100 card, then actually that's a pretty big win. If it is a $100 card, it won't be that way for very long. So I'll be holding on to all these cards for some time because I'm not sure when I actually will write the chapters that will involve these cards for that book. But if I was you and you're opening these cards, you pull a Fernando Mendoza and you're not a Mendoza fan or a Raiders fan, I would get those cards on eBay right away. And if they're selling for $100, congratulations. Sell Mortimer, sell. Cash in on that opportunity. As more cards hit the market, prices will inevitably decline. Plus, he didn't look that good in Game 2, let's be honest. So, but I actually, as you know, I really like that kid, and I'm definitely rooting for him. Even though I'm a Chiefs fan, it'll be hard to root for him because he's on the Raiders, and the Raiders are like an unlikable franchise in the past. But you know, things are changing. They got Tom Brady, and now they got a really likable quarterback. So I wish him the best. All right, here we go. Next blaster. Let's do this. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. We're approaching midnight in the Midwest. Raiders. Drew, are you from Oakland? Are you or you're from Vegas? Cam Ward, Future Stars. Yeah, I mean the Raiders are going to be much improved, right? I mean they can't be any worse. They've been a struggling franchise for so many years. They'll be better. Woody Marks, Stevenson, Josh Downs. That's the problem with the Chiefs. I think that whole division got better. Not just the Raiders. The Chargers probably got better too. Sam Donald, Jameson Williams, Leonard Williams, Tyler Higbee. Jack Beck, Drake London. First pack was a bust, guys. Let's keep going. Yeah, so I hope you guys are having fun hanging out with me. I'm having a blast. Whether we pull cool cards or not, it's just fun to do this. I just love the hobby. I love cards. I love writing about cards. And yeah, thank you to Paulie and letting me become part of the collecting and connecting network. It's been awesome being part of the family. It's been awesome having a couple of shows and being a recurring guest on a couple other shows. And yeah, it's just a whole new way for me to enjoy the hobby in a way that I never really expected, and it's just been so awesome. Yeah. So, oh, so Drew, you're an LA Raiders fan. Oh, old school Raiders fan. That's awesome, dude. You stayed loyal. Bucky Irving, Packers, Travis Hunter. Yeah, the Raiders used to play in the Los Angeles Coliseum. That's like Jim Plunkett, right? Romeo Dobbs, Quinn Ewers, Marcus Allen. This is a cool card, guys. Pressure cookers. Caleb Williams. We pulled a Drake May last night. This is going to the gallery. That's a nice looking card. Look at that design. That's beautiful. Good job, Tops. And then Christian Benford. Derrick Henry was my fantasy team last year. He had one really huge game, and then he fumbled at a critical moment the next game, and then he was terrible the rest of the year. And I wound up trading him in the season towards the end of the season. I won't be drafting him again. Justin Hill, Jack Campbell, Kyle Hamilton, Jadarian Price. This is our third time we're pulling Garrett Nussmeier. Hey, we got a numbered card. We got Bryce Botcher. You're never excited when it's a rookie linebacker, but 2026 on the numbered. You got to celebrate the numbered cards. Automatically into the gallery you go. That card is probably literally worthless, maybe $1 or $2. Eli Stowers, and then great name Sonny Styles. But you got to celebrate the numbered cards because they only made 2,026 of that card. So that's pretty cool. We pulled one. That's all right. Don't forget, there's one of those for Evan Mendoza, too. That'd be a sick pull. Tesla, Metcalf, Fred Warner, DJ Moore, Chris Jones. First time ever pulling Chris Jones. Jared Verse, Seattle Slays, Buda Baker, fun name. CJ Daniels, Jaden Daniels, Daniels. Jaden Daniels, very injury prone, not a great team around him. Not bullish on Jaden Daniels this year for fantasy sports. Not bullish. Bearish. So I like him, though, as a person. Matthew Golden, Jake Ferguson, we've seen a lot of him. Cameron Jordan, Trey McBride. Look at that catch. Look at the hands. Look at that. Okay. Sweet. Joe Thuney. Big leaders. Look at that cool photography alert for Ricky Purcell. Cyrus Allen, very bullish in this kid for the Chiefs this year. Xavier Thomas. Zay Flowers with the parallel. That's a cool card, I gotta say. And then Pat Surtain, cornerback. All right, last pack from this blaster. This blaster's had a couple of moments of excitement. Devontae Smith, Darren Payne, Brandon Aubrey, J.J. McCarthy, Jamar Chase, Ed McMillan, Future Stars, Raging Bills, Cooper DeJean, Caden Proctor, cool looking card there, Drake May, bus pack. All right, guys, home stretch. We got 3 blasters to go. So I'm guessing we'll go 2.5 hours. We will not break the record of 3 hours tonight. I had a stay-at-home day today. Did a bunch of editing for my basketball god book, and recorded a bunch of chapters. Watched the Chiefs game with my wife. So there was a bunch of card shows in town this weekend. I didn't get to any. I might go tomorrow. We'll see how the day plays out. Truth is, my basketball book doesn't get released until next July, but it's so getting close to being done that I'm just kind of like motivated to keep reading it over and over until I can get all the wrinkles out and just get it in the can and be done with it. Just get it on pre-sale, and then I can kind of like take a break. But then I say that and I never do. I move right on to the next project, and I get obsessed with the next project, and I'm always just kind of working hard. I never really relax, but that's just my nature, baby. Taylor Green, Sean Allen. Actually, I just heard some sad news. My grandmother is going to turn 103 years old. But she's starting to get very, very ill, and I don't think she'll make the 103rd birthday. So we might have to go to Long Island soon and pay our last respects to my grandmother. 103 is amazing long life. Yeah. Bus back. My grandpa died at 95, so my grandma's been alone for a number of years already. Never went to an old age home, had an in-home nurse, and she's decided to stop seeing doctors. Now she's stopped eating, and she had heart surgery at 100 years old or 99 years old because she was having a hard time breathing, and it was like a life-saving / threatening surgery, and it worked. And I was speaking to her last week, and she was having the breathing problems again. I think that whole surgery is kind of unwound. Now her quality of life has really deteriorated. So, she'll now become an angel for all of us here on Earth. The black hat Jews believe in reincarnation, like the Buddhists and the Hindus, and they believe you reincarnate within your own family tree. So, like when your grandparents die, they can come back as your grandchildren, like your children's children. Get it? Isn't that wild? So think about this. Then whatever you teach your kids throughout their life, they'll then teach their kids, will then teach their kids, and then when you die and reincarnate as their kids, they'll be teaching you. So everything that you've taught your kids, you're going to really be teaching yourself. Is that mind-blowing or what? Malik Washington? If it's true, I can't prove that reincarnation is true, although there actually are many documented cases of near-death experience, and past life regressionists have built careers on documenting this stuff, and, who knows? Malik Benson, Cassius Howell, Devontae Smith, we're pulling a lot of him. Chris Jones, Cameron Jordan, Lassiter, there's Tua, Bijan the Stars, and then Patrick Mahomes, All-Star. That's a rare card. I love Patrick Mahomes. He's my GOAT. I hope he stays healthy this year. You're going to the gallery, my boy. He's one of the good role models in our society. I'm confident he always will stay that way. Family man, just terrific human being. Arvell Reese, Kevin Coleman Jr., Brandon Aubrey, Breece Hall, Trey McBride, J.J. McCarthy, Jamar Chase, Double J's, Michael Wilson, Roquan Smith, Carnell Tate, bust, pack, 1 to go. Two-hour mark. Guys, 605 people in the chat, 2 hours long. Thank you so much. What a cool name. That Casey Concepcion, Jonah Coleman. There's Carson Beck. Has it taken so long to pull this guy? Here is something you need to know. So Beck Jordan is the name of the main character of my college football series, and I named my character based on the last name of Carson Beck. I was watching him play for Georgia before he played for Miami, and I thought I would take the last name of Carson and use Beck as his first name. And then I just like, what's a super uber popular athlete's last name that I can use? And then I thought, oh, how about Michael Jordan? So I came up with Beck Jordan. That's how it happened. Carson Beck. So I'm happy he's in the pros. He's off to a good start with the Cardinals. I wish him the best. T. Higgins, Alvin Kamara. We pull these two back to back all the time. And then Pete Werner, Daniel Hunter, Bengal Shield, Jonathan Taylor, Will Campbell, Quentin Johnson, J.J. McCarthy. So that was a bust value box, but had some fun sentimental cards. That's pretty cool. That one was stubborn. Didn't want to open. So I mentioned this is the last new product, sports related, that I'm going to be buying for some time. I'm going to be focusing more on the stuff that I already own for all my rip sessions going forward, with one exception, which is the Pokemon 30th anniversary, which comes out next month. I'm also releasing my book, which is now on pre-sale, #1 now on Amazon new releases. So thank you so much for that. My book, The Pokemon Gods Are Real. So I will definitely be paying respect to the Pokemon Gods, getting my hands on as much 30th anniversary as I can, and I will not be saving it to profit. I'll rip it all on camera with you guys to celebrate, and I will be using those rips as part of my Card Life book volume 3 chapters. All right, 2 blasters to go. Whoa. We pulled a relic, a patch. Player-worn memorabilia for Edgerrin Cooper, Green Bay Packers. NFL material, dual relic. Why is it dual? There's 2 pieces? It feels cool. It feels real. Yeah, that's a good hit. That's really strong to finish. Again, not a household name, but still a cool pull. That's fun. I'm grateful. And then Isaac Pacheco. So that was from the first pack of the second to last blaster. We pulled our first auto tonight and our first relic tonight. That's not bad. TJ Parker, Josh Cameron, CJ Williams, Brian Burns, Xavier McKinney, Ted Johnson, Daniel Jones, Will Anderson Jr., Jeffrey Simmons. First time we pulled him, I think. League leaders. Woody Marks, cool looking card. Got a speckle maybe. Alvin Kamara ticket. Caleb Douglas, DeAndre Swift, AJ Terrell, big leaders, Quinnen Williams, Javonte Sanders, Abdul Carter, Jalen McMillan, Bryce Lance with the cool photography alert. Look at that catch. That's sweet. Eli Stowers, Malachi Fields, Jeremy Bernard, Chuba Hubbard, Travion Henderson, Jaden Higgins, Ed Oliver, Kyron Williams, Debo Samuel. First time we pulled him. Ooh, great of the game, Jerry Rice. That's cool. And Garrett Wilson. Yeah, Jerry Rice, best receiver of all time? I think so. Emmett Johnson, Ty Simpson, rookie. Bijan, Devontae Adams, Marvin Mims, Puka Nakua, best name, Thea Johnson, Deion Dawkins, Jordan Davis, Trevor Lawrence with a nice parallel, and a greatest hits moment for DJ Moore. All right, last pack of the second to last blaster. Here we go. Zion Young, offensive tackle, Adam Randall, Trey Tucker, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, Tyrone Tracy Jr., Caleb Williams, Drake London, Braylon Allen. Shout out to you, Aaron Rodgers, and Justin Herbert. All right, that was definitely no. That can't say that was a bust. That had the relic. I guess that's a win. Although that relic might be worth $5, so that's still financially a bust. But as far as pulling cool stuff, it's a win. So time might be an illusion. Who knows? When you're in school and you're in elementary school or high school and you're bored, like a 45-minute class can feel like forever, right? But yet when you're doing what you love, it can be anything that you love, right? When you're in the zone doing what you love, time just flies by. Isn't that amazing, that concept? So here, 2 hours have flown by. All I've been doing is ripping packs and hanging out with you guys, talking about fantasy football and enjoying the cards. And literally the last 2 hours, just like poof, just having so much fun. So thank you for joining me. I used to rip packs by myself all the time. Jordan Neal from the baseball card store. Shout out to you, my friend. He's the reason I decided to eventually start ripping packs online. So glad that I did. So much more fun sharing it with the community. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Give it a like. Join me tomorrow night on the High Hard One, 7:30 p.m. on the Collecting and Connecting Network. And then on Tuesday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific, Card Life Chronicles. This show, which is usually random because I like the flexibility of doing a show whenever I want to, but because I want there to be a show that people can plan on attending and plan their schedule around it, there will always be a Card Life Chronicles rip session now every other Tuesday, 10 o'clock on Tuesday nights. All right, last blaster, here we go. Last new product that I'm going to be buying until Pokemon 30th anniversary, and then we'll get really into my Card Life Volume 3 material, and then I got Volume 4 as well to rip. You'll see. Don't worry, many more cards to rip. We're going to go on a real adventure together, guys. David Bailey, Aiden Hutchinson. I feature him in my Football Gods Are Real book. Oh, that's so cool. First time we've pulled him ever. Devin Witherspoon. First time we've pulled the Loveland Future Stars. Holy shit, guys. Skylar Bell, rookie. Player worn memorabilia. So if you notice, this one was, player worn too, not game worn. So that could mean he just tries it on in the locker room and then takes it off. Not like game used. It's careful to note that. But we still pulled another relic. That's pretty sweet. Hold on. So this has been a very interesting rip session because I feel like we've pulled some decent stuff, but nothing that's actually worth anything. But yet, if you love the hobby and you love like card design and stuff like that, you should be pretty happy and feel like you've gotten some good entertainment value. Just maybe not huge monetary value, in my opinion. Whoa, this one is sick. I'm bullish. This guy, he could be rookie of the year. Caleb Downs. This is a rookie card, and this is a really cool parallel. This is going in the gallery too. That is sweet. This has been fun, guys. We really have I've had fun. I hope you've had fun too. And then Kendrick Law, rookie. Love those orange jerseys. AJ Brown, Ed Oliver, Kyron Williams, Marvin Mims, Lassiter, Tua, Shiny Henderson Jr., and Jared Goff, 35th anniversary. Eli Hendrick, Emmanuel Henderson, Zach Charbonnet, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen McMillan, Puka Nacua, Theo Johnson, Caleb Williams, Double J's, Michael Wilson, Isaac Tesla, Sam Darnold. Oop. Clark, Brendan Thompson, Isaiah Pacheco, Shamar Stewart, Tyron Trace Jr., Drake London, TJ Hawkinson, Will Campbell, Quentin Johnson, Jonathan Taylor with the Stars, and then the greatest hits. Pulling a lot of Nussmeier. Kyler Pitts the first time. Jackson Dart, Future Stars. Caleb Downs, rookie. All right, guys, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Pretty good session tonight. Last pack of 2026 Topps football to go. Here we go. Pack odds, finish strong. Probably the top two Chief rookies. Really, I'm getting tired, guys. That's how you know it's time to wrap it up. Jaden Reed, Emeka Ibuka, Future Stars, Lions, Tucker Kraft, Rashawn Gary, and Jamar Chase. Let's do a quick recap before we wrap it up. By the way, going forward with the Card Life Chronicles, when we do the bi-weekly show, sometimes it'll be specific product, like a high box of, 1987 Topps baseball, whatever. Sometimes it might just be a shoebox session, a shoebox rip session. I have a shoebox full of cards, just random cards that I buy from the shows, trade shows, and from local card stores and whatever, and also packs that I've opened, but from before I did my Chronicle stuff, and I just never got to those cards, and so they're kind of all miscellaneous and sorted together, and we'll just do random picks out of the box, and we'll just rip packs for an hour, and it'll just be a surprise whatever the next pack. It's kind of like going to a fish show. You never know what pack will open next. We never know what song will open. So anyway, I'll turn off my phone now, the second camera, and then we'll do a quick recap of all my favorite cards. Yeah, we're finishing strong. 605 people in the chat. for real, grateful for every one of you. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. If I was doing this in front of nobody, that might be kind of lame. Caleb Downs, 30th anniversary. Caleb Downs rookie with a really cool parallel, looking shiny. We pulled 2 player worn relics. Carson Beck is sentimental. I named my character Beck Jordan after Carson Beck. Sentimental because he's my GOAT. I'm a Chiefs fan. Go Patrick Mahomes. Zay Flowers. I thought this just was a cool insert that deserved the gallery. Numbered card to 2026. Jeremiah Love. Base rookie. This made the gallery because it's pink. Shout out to Michaela Bear. Check out our interview from last week's Sports Card Collectors Club podcast. You can find it on the Collecting and Connecting Network and also on my YouTube channel, Sports Card Collectors Club. She's a super collector and specifically pink cards. She's got thousands of them. So this is for you, Michaela. Shout out to you. Then I just love this design. It's Caleb Williams. Look at that shine. Beautiful. We pulled a couple of Fernando Mendoza's. First base rookie. Second base rookie. 35th anniversary design rookie. Then we got a numbered card to 150 on the greatest hits with Tesla tight end, or wide receiver rather. DJ Moore out of 2026. Oops, excuse me. This is cool. 35th anniversary David Bailey parallel out of 50 rookie. And then we'll finish strong. Rookie card, on-card auto, beautiful signature for wide receiver 00 Ted Hurst. Beautiful looking card. So yeah, so no mega hits, nothing that's gonna make the all-time hit list, but a really good session, really good turnout. Thank you guys for showing up. I really appreciate the support each and every day. Go check out my books. Go check out the YouTube channel. Go smash the like. Go subscribe, and yeah, go check out my new audiobook series and just enjoy my books for free. Just my way of sharing my stories with everyone, just because those stories are worth telling. Yeah, thank you so much for tonight. Not sure what show will be next or when it will be, but if we don't do a spontaneous show, for sure, you will find me Sunday night, 7:30 on the High Hard One as a recurring guest, and then my show next Tuesday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, the Card Life Chronicles. This show, but on a scheduled bi-weekly time. We'll have some fun. Maybe we'll do our first shoebox session. We'll see. I'll keep it a surprise. You guys take care, and as always, God bless.
Rip sessions, we never get enough. The Card Life Chronicles. Big hits, hold that card up high. Old time fun and a wild surprise.
The Card Life Chronicles.
A wild surprise.